With housing affordability top of mind, there may finally be some good news for buyers. A new report from Realtor.com reveals that mid-October could be the best time all year to buy a home. Joining us now is Realtor.com Senior Economic Research Analyst Hannah Jones to break down why the market is shifting and, of course, what buyers need to know. Hannah, welcome. How you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to talk about this because already you've caught my attention. Really? Why is mid-October the best time of year to buy a home?
So mid-October historically brings together, the best combination of market conditions for buyers. That means more homes on the market, fewer other buyers in the market, which means less competition and lower home prices. Especially in the Florida market where, there are so many home options right now, this fall could be especially favorable for buyers who are looking to, secure a home.
Exciting. And is this true? I'm seeing the 15,000 in potential savings there on that graphic. How can buyers take advantage and save that?
So home prices tend to peak in the summer when, lots of people are in the market because, they're between school terms and they want to move before school starts in the fall. So that means that once you get into the fall and people get out of the market, home prices tend to soften as well, which means that, sellers both list at a lower price or they might be doing, more price reductions.
And I feel like this is a traditional supply demand question, but just so we're all on the same page, what difference does more listings and therefore less competition make for buyers?
So it means that buyers really have more options and also more power. Because there are more homes on the market, they can be a bit choosier about what they're looking for. And, homes, as they're more on the market, they tend to spend longer on the market. So you can take a little bit more time deliberating. On top of that, sellers are really looking to get their home sold, before they hit the holiday season. So that means that sellers are also likely to be more flexible at the negotiation table, which is great news for buyers.
Absolutely. Okay, and we know how quickly time flies. Anything we can do to be ready, say people at home are thinking about buying, what can they do now to be ready for that time period in October?
Yeah, even though it's a great time to buy, it's still a relatively expensive housing market. That means that buyers should go ahead and get their financial ducks in a row. Check in on that down payment, go ahead and get your credit score checked and, figure out how much of a mortgage you can get pre-approved for. That will set your budget that you can then take and connect with a real estate agent and figure out, what will that budget get me in my target neighborhood.
Now, I'm not going to lie, I get updates from Realtor.com. What other resources, information is available on Realtor.com that our viewers can find and check out?
Yeah, so if you want to know more about your local best time to buy or what makes it a great time to buy, you can go to Realtor.com/best time to buy.
Awesome. I have loved talking about this, Hannah. Thank you so much for all of this valuable information. Take care, okay?
Yeah, take care. Thanks for having me.